Did you know there's a secret coded Bible text in The Sims? Take a guess, which game do you think was bold enough to do that, and leave your guess in the comments. Stick around to the end of the video to uncover the hidden message with me. A friendly reminder that English is not my first language, and so there's closed captions, make sure to turn that on so you can understand me better. Religion was, is, and will probably forever be a big part of human history. From the Bible to the Quran, this is not really about believing or not, it is a fact. But how does religion connect to The Sims? Hello Babe Angels and welcome to Creusa Sims. My name is Creusa Darwin, I'm from Strangetown and this is Religion and The Sims. This video is a featuring of me and Reese Sim. The original idea of covering religion in the game was hers and I was heavily inspired by her video Is There Really Religion in The Sims 2? So make sure to check that out as well. So here's the thing, not everybody believes in something or someone greater, like Will Wright, our creator, he's an atheist, and to be honest, I'm also one of those people without a religion. But even so, I have always been fascinated by little parts of different beliefs around the world and their culture value. There is another thing that I'm really fascinated about, and that one we all share, The Sims. The word religion has Latin roots and essentially means bind, connect. The world's oldest religion, Hinduism, has texts dating back 3,000 years. Well, I'm only 23, so that means this whole thing where people bind and connect has been happening way longer than I have. The Sims and I, on the other hand, share the same age, so both being born in a world where religion was already a thing, how does that influence the game? Let's find out. While religion isn't a gameplay option, there are many symbolic and textual references in the game related to divinity, sacredness, and ancient gods. Back where everything started, Sims 1 was very mystic and it wasn't long until I found what I was looking for. There are several items in this game that evidence a religious aspect. Let's take a look. Greek mythology is quite present in this game. The sculpture section featured this beautiful statue entitled Bust of Athena that reads, Athena was the ultimate warrior princess. Athena was very different from the war god Ares. She was not so much a fighter as a prudent and wise advisor and guardian of craft to work. Another beautiful and Greek-related statue of Sims 1 is the Curse of Aphrodite that reads, their curse was first discovered by the Christian iconoclast who ordered the destruction in the anti-pagan campaign of 387 AD. Okay, so here we have three really interesting things. The mention of Aphrodite, the beauty Greek goddess, the mention of iconoclasm, and also the time frame of Anno Domini or AD, that means in the year of the Lord, which is used when referring to a year after Jesus Christ was born. La Gargoyle and the Shapicrata are also figures present in the game that are somehow related to mythology. Moving to the lighting section, we can see something really cool, a menorah, a traditional symbol of Jewish life, important from the Holy Land. Okay, so this is basically acknowledging that Israel and Palestine are present in Sims' world, as it refers to the Holy Land that Jews, Christians, and Muslims regard as holy. I never knew Sims 1 could go so deep in our history, and honestly, this makes me love this game even more. Another related furniture is the Night Niche light piece that featured this beautiful medieval aesthetic and prerogative. Whether used in prayer or as a part of a total housing conversion, the Night Niche sheds light on a world of darkness. Sharing the same medieval church aspect, we can also find the authentic cathedral, the butt of the bodice, and the stained glassed window as options of lights in common. The Holy Land is mentioned once more in this piece entitled Eruption of Decadence. The pictures on the tapestry tell the story of the sacred sister who returned from the Holy Land and started the first international banking system. So far, it is easy to see how religion was present in Sims 1, although it wasn't a gameplay option. But it gets even better. Sims 1 was also referencing indigenous beliefs. Tik is the Polynesian word for first image. Tik figures were used by ancient Hawaiians to honor the creator. But this documentary, get it? Documentary plus Creusa documentary. Anyway, it's just getting started. A big religious feature present in The Sims 1, 2, 3, and 4 is Christmas. Christmas is actually Jesus Christ's birthday, so having so much related to inside the game makes me think that Jesus is also part of Sims. We have all sort of things Christmas themed, and even the man himself, Santa Claus. He's present in Sims 4, 2, and 1, although he goes by Father Winter in TS4 and his name is spelled with a K in Sims 2. Santa Claus is actually inspired by a real man, Saint Nicholas, who is credited with 300 miracles, including 3 resurrections, and for that he was canonized. Holidays were not a thing back in Sims 1 and 2, but you could just pretend that the time had come for put up the tree and celebrate. This changed with Sims 3 Seasons though, where the Snowflake Day was added to the game. On this holiday, Sims can throw gift-giving parties over the phone, and we'll have the holiday cheer moodlet, being friendly to each other during this day. In Sims 4 Seasons, a Christmas holiday was also introduced, the Winterfest. This special day features 5 traditions: decorate, festive spirit, open presents, grand meal, and also the visit of Father Winter, the new and more ambiguous Santa Claus. I believe the EA is trying to distance Christmas from religion, so that is why Santa Claus was changed and the word Christmas isn't really mentioned anymore. Now let's take a closer look on TS2. I was actually inspired by Reese's sim doing this video, and so she's the one covering this game.
Something closely related to religion is a house of worship. It could be a temple, it could be a church, it could be a mosque. So this is actually the first glimpse of religion that we can find in The Sims 2. 88 Road to Nowhere in Strangetown is an abandoned government facility turned into a shopping center. But what really caught my eye is this orange building featuring a chapel aesthetic. It was probably a religious temple at some point, but now it sells video games. But it is interesting to have this church aesthetic in Strangetown on this lot, because it indicates that the Simmers would need, or would have needed at some point, a house of worship, a place of worship. And why would you need that if there is not a concept of religion? And apart from this church in Strangetown, we can also identify religion in some items within the Sims 2 games, such as the Hanukkah menorah, with a description that says that Hanukkah, the Jewish festival of light, celebrates the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem. And it's actually quite interesting to have Jerusalem mentioned as such, because it's such an important city to both Jews and Christians and Muslims. And it indicates that the thought of a Holy Land also has some sort of relevance in The Sims. And the description also describes the tradition behind it. It says, "This miracle is commemorated by lighting a candle on the menorah each night for 8 nights. So, sharing an Catholic church aesthetic, the masterfully medieval sofa strongly resemble the classic seats of a church. One particular name caught my eye in the sofa description. It says, Mrs. Diluvian. This is no coincidence, because the word diluvian means related to a flood or floods, especially the biblical flood. This curious red doll is part of Buddhism and also part of The Sims 2. The Daruma wishing doll can make everyone's dreams come true. There's actually a lot of wishing related things in The Sims 2, such as the little jug of wishes, the spiritual shrine of odd blessings, and even a wishing well. Just like The Sims 1, The Sims 2 also features some tiki figures inspired by the Maori mythology. Tiki was actually the first man created by God, similar to Adam. Greek, Egyptian, and Chinese mythology are also represented in the game. This flying horse statue can resemble Pegasus, while this wall featuring cowplant art is a clear reference to ancient Egypt. These lion/dog statues take inspiration from Shisa, a folkloric creature from China. They are actually wards that are believed to protect from evils.
Beelzebeef, also known as Prime Heifer, is a god worshipped by various Sims in Sims 2 for Nintendo DS and PlayStation Portable. It has the appearance of a giant cow, and the name Beelzebeef could be a reference to Beelzebub, a major god in the Philistine religion, in some Abrahamic religions as a major demon, an alternative name for Satan in the Christian religion. The worship of Beelzebeef is a big part of the story mode in both games, although you can't make your Sims worship her or follow any related dogmas. Even though this is a made-up god, it definitely holds real religion inspiration. So far, we caught on a lot of small hints of religion in Sims 1 and 2, but there is definitely more to come. The Voodoo dolls are present in TS1, 2, 3, and 4. But did you know it has roots in Africa? Each doll has a personality, is blessed, and is manufactured from authentic African twigs. Even though its representation in the game isn't quite accurate, Voodoo is part of The Sims for ages now, not as a decor element, but as a gameplay option. In Sims 4, a Voodoo doll is also one of the familiars that spellcasters can own. So cute! The Sims 3 brings in a lot of mythology-inspired stuff. World Adventures actually features an ancient Egypt location as well as a China one within a real religious temple recreated, the Temple of Heaven. Pyramids were also somewhat related to religion, and one suggestion is that they were designed as a type of resurrection machine. If they only knew about resurrectionimitron, right? This beautiful Bolshika roof is a traditional Russian church architecture. Still sharing the church spirit, we can find this painting entitled Mission at Noon, where we can spot a church-like build. A Christian mission is an organized effort to carry on evangelism or other activities, such as educational or hospital work, in the name of the Christian faith. I think this is the strongest religion match in the game. Originally, marriage had nothing to do with religion. Its primary purpose was to bind women to men to make sure that a man's children were truly his biological heirs. But as the Catholic Church became a popular institution in Europe, the blessings of a priest became a necessary step for a marriage to be legally recognized. Even though the game does not hire priests to marry Sims, we can somewhere relate the weddings to religious ceremonies. In The Sims 1, same-sex Sims were not even allowed to marry each other. Yes, and in Sims 2 they could only have a joint union. And as for that part, I can say that this is definitely religion related, as the Bible condemns homosexual relationships, and to this day, gay marriage isn't legal in every state of the United States of America because of that. Sims 3 had this spin-off, Sims Medieval, where religion is actually a gameplay option. It features a nameless religion divided into two churches, the Jacobin and the Peteran, both following the same god, the Watcher. The Jacobin interprets God as angry and vengeful, while the Peteran sees it as compassionate and loving. All Sims start out as agnostics, neither believing in or disbelieving in the Watcher. Priests can attempt to convert others to their faith, either by directly discussing it with the individuals or giving sermons, which has a small chance of spontaneously converting Sims who listen to them. You can also speak with a priest and ask to join their church, automatically converting the Sim to the priest's religion. Both churches receive donations from their followers. Jacobins give 20% of their income, while Peterans give 10%. The religion system of Sims Medieval is probably inspired by real medieval Christianity. Back to modern times, Sims 4 is what I would call the sanitized version of The Sims. We can easily see that the game is trying to stay out of political manners, and religion is a big one these days. We don't see a Holy Land being mentioned or straight out of Bible text here, but even so, representation is a big part of TS4, and so religion was somewhat represented in the game. We can once again find menorahs to celebrate the Jewish holiday Hanukkah, but a similar structure introduces a new belief: the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. This ornament is represented by 3 pieces of furniture, 2 kinaras, and a painting. Kwanzaa is an annual celebration of African American culture from December 26th to January 1st, so it is like a black version of Christmas. We can also spot a Kwanzaa Kinara back in Sims 2, and its description tells us a little bit more about the tradition. It's a 7-day festival celebrating the African American people, culture, and history. Every evening of Kwanzaa, a family member lights a candle in a special candle holder called a Kinara. Love that! This lamp is called a diya and is a sacred ornament of different Asian cultures and religions such as Hinduism, Sikhism, and Buddhism. Diyas are symbolically lit during prayers, rituals, and ceremonies. They represent the triumph of light over dark, good over evil. Diyas are a big part of Diwali, the Hindu festival of lights mentioned here. Another Hindu tradition can be spotted here, the Rangoli. Rangoli is an art form usually made during Diwali and symbolizes wealth, joy, and prosperity. Sims 4 features 3 different Rangoli styles with 13 colors total plus Rangoli related candles. A big step was taken when it comes down to culture and religious representation in Sims 4, the inclusion of hijabs for the very first time in Creusa Sims. Hijabs are associated with Muslim women as an expression of modesty and faith, and nothing Muslim related was ever represented by the game before. TS4 features 4 hijab styles with over 50 colors total, so there we have a lot of options to go with. Women covering their heads is not an exclusivity of Islam though. According to Halasha, the Jewish law, married Jewish women are expected to cover their hair when in the presence of men other than their husband or close family members. Sims 4 also features a T-shell, a traditional Jewish head covering, but lacks a kippah. I wonder why. The Sims 4 T-shell comes with 12 different colors. Creusa Sims also features some turban options both for male and female Sims. Turbans are related to Asian and African culture and religions such as Sikhism, Islam, Candomblé, and Hinduism. What I can see here is that religious representation comes in with symbolic and cultural references in Sims 4, but nothing too literal. There is no god or saint image nor mention, religion itself is not a gameplay option either, and I believe that's for the best. TS4 is doing an amazing job when it comes down to representing real cultures and beliefs, and without the presence of a god figure established, your Sims can believe in whatever they please. Now, this next piece gives me the chills, okay? Let's review the secret coded Bible text in The Sims, and the winner is, of course, Sims 1. The Pacific Island relic can initially look like another thick image, but it features a mystery inscription that at the first moment I wasn't even sure if it really meant something. Then I decided to translate it. I'm so glad that I did. It is actually a real language, Samoan, and means, yes, evil has come to us and it ends with us today, without the power and glory forever and ever. I've tried to translate it using ChatGPT as well, but each time I do, it comes out differently, so I'm assuming these translations are incorrect. Here's the thing, the Google Translate is most likely wrong as well because I was able to find these words in the Bible. It consists of 3 verses from Matthew 6:11, 6:12, and 6:13. It reads, "Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen." These are straight out of Bible references found in the game. I'm actually shocked. Sims 1 have so many hidden gems, but at least for now, that's it. Did you guess correctly? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, Sims 1 was crazy bold for that. Personally, I would love to have a religion in the game, cause this could give us so many options and possibilities when it comes down to gameplay, challenges, storylines, and representation purposes. But I do understand why this is probably never happening. Also, it would have to be made up religions like the one from Sims Medieval, you know, just to make sure nobody's feelings would get hurt and stuff. Even so, I believe it could be a lot of fun to have that as an option, not an obligation. Okay, wow, we are able to find so many religions references in The Sims, and to be honest, I was not expecting so much. Yeah, while Sims Medieval is the only one with religion as a gameplay feature, we can definitely see how religion is present, and not only present, but also shaping how the game works and some dynamics inside of it. Even the presence of ghosts in the Grain Reaper can be related to the idea of life after death or afterlife that, you know, can be related to Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, and more. Sims 1 was definitely bold when we compare. Quoting the Bible was so surprising to me. Sims 2 also features some really interesting stuff, such as the medieval church-inspired sofa with a Deluvian reference and that church structure from Strangetown. Sims 4 did an amazing job balancing representation and respect, and Sims 3 was not as bold as the others when compared, but that mission at noon painting really caught my eye. At the end of the day, religion is heavily present in our society, its dynamics and ideas, so it would be pretty much impossible for the game to not feature some religious influence. It only makes sense that all of this is somewhat a part of the game, as this is a life simulator inspired by our real and human life. I loved making this video and I hope you enjoy it as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon. XOXO, Creusa Darwin, and do that shit.
What if I rolled the stone away? They're gonna crucify me anyway. What if the way you hold me is actually what's holy?